Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am playing a game that I have grown addicted to. I have always wanted a good airport game and I've never been able to find one. Like either my computer's been too crappy to play one that I found, or I found one but it didn't turn out to be that great. This game is amazing and it's in early access, unfortunately, which means that there are a lot of bugs. I find a new bug pretty much, or I should say I notice a new bug every time I play, pretty much. The good news is, though, that since I bought this game, which was at the Steam Summer Sale, they've updated it with two big updates twice. And they've also rolled out a lot of little updates fixing stuff. So they are fixing stuff, but there's still a lot of stuff that needs fixing. But it's a really fun game, and it's really addicting. And the beep boops might get a little annoying. I might want to turn that down a little bit. Let's see if that's a little more bearable. But the object of the game is to just run an airport, and it's a little more complicated than that, but, you know, we'll get into it. We got the ticketing people up here, and they check in people's luggage as well, and there's a little bit that goes into that. These crazy conveyor belts can get a little daunting, but it's essentially match blue to blue, pink to pink. It's figuring out how you want to lay it all out, because they can't intersect, they can't join together, and they can't really go under each other or anything. So you have to kind of weave in and out a little bit, but you get used to it after a while. And baggage claim, I'm trying to, you know, gussy the place up a little bit. We're getting there. I'm adding some plants. Customer satisfaction is pretty high. We only have the two gates so far. It gets crazy, at least in these early builds. It gets pretty crazy when you start getting extra large gates and you have a lot of them. A lot starts going on. But it's really fun if you can live with bugs and stuttering. At least with my computer. But getting to watch them take off and stuff is a lot of fun. I need to put my phone on silent, of course. And just getting to watch them go through all the little, like, wait lines is really mesmerizing to me. I enjoy it. This, I will say, though, I'm starting to get a little over this, prison architect RimWorld look. Like, I love the game, but I'm ready for a new look. It seems like there's a lot of games doing this recently, and I'm ready for something new. Over in the wait area, where you'd wait for the gates, you can already see one of the first bugs that I'm going to point out here. These people will just stack on top of each other at the end down here. Let's slow it down. They'll just kind of stack up on each other here, and I don't really know why. There's open seats. But they like to do that a lot. And once you start getting a lot of gates, and the gates are like all over, they're not right next to each other like these two, you will get people that instead of going to wait in line at their gate, I guess somehow in their pathing, they want to go sit first. So what they'll do is they'll go all the way over here, either stand here or find a seat and sit, and then they'll go back all the way back to their gate. But of course, by then they've missed their flight. That's one thing I've experienced and I'm a little salty about, but it's fine. You get over it because you find ways to work around it, right? So my goal this time is to kind of keep the gates closer together, and not only do that, but let me show you the schedule here. Not only keep the gates closer together, but schedule less flights. See, when I played before, I was scheduling a ton more flights than this. And I don't know, with all the people going through the airport, I was running into a lot of issues. Which might not be the game's fault. part of the gameplay, I'm sure, is learning efficiency. And one of the first things I want to do here... Now, I've read different things on Reddit and different forums about the queue lines being worse. They're not worth it, basically. Like, they make the wait times and the crowds of people worse. But, I don't know. They're fun, and I love watching the people go through them. So, we'll put one up. And if it seems to be a problem, we'll just delete it. And to assign this queue to the gate, you just go to assign to, and you can also assign the gate desk to a gate next to your runway. But you can also assign queues. And I'll probably do one over here too. This one I don't feel like needs it as much. We have a lot of smaller aircrafts that come into this gate. So there's usually not a big crowd of people to check out anyway. I think we have like one big flight that comes in there at some point. But we'll go ahead and do it for the sake of just having one. And I like to leave a little spot in front of here because you know you're going to get the people that have to come up and complain or try and like haggle. See this blonde lady? She's like going crazy. She was up at the desk trying to get her seat upgraded. Look, she can't sit still. She had way too much coffee. But this is the little seating area. I'm trying to make it work. We got some plants here. I'm not sure why. Oh, I bet I don't have a... What's it called? Storage zone. No. So I'm just going to put a little area right there next to deliveries. And they'll come and get stuff like that. Oh, not big enough, probably. Is that better? Okay, yeah. They're going to get it. Oh, and then it looks like they also will move deliveries onto that. So what should be happening here is the storage box should be bigger than the deliveries box, but I'll deal with that later. It's not too big of an issue now, but look at the people piling up here. I guess they're all waiting their turn. Another thing I need to do is build a exiting hallway here. Now, I've done that in the past, and let me tell you, an exiting hallway has to be executed precisely. Oop, forgot to assign the queue. Nope. Nope. There we go. Everybody will reorganize here. And I really need to cut that back one square. The exiting hallway needs to be executed very carefully because otherwise you will get huge traffic jams and security will mess up and there's a lot that can go wrong. But make sure they're wide. That's been my experience. And don't try to build other big corridors off of your exit hallway because that's a nightmare as well. Okay. I think this is what I did last time and it needs to be bigger than that. As you can see, this costs a lot of money. I only have $52. Or $52. $52,000. So we're going to have to build this in chunks. Which is fine. I think it costs more in the long haul, but, you know, I need to give my people something to do. On top of that, let's add some more benches that people can stack up on. And I also would like to open a kiosk of some kind. You can actually build like custom-made restaurant facilities. I think they're called cafes in this. But I find them to be extremely, I don't want to say buggy, but extremely, they don't mesh well with the game yet. And I'm hoping that's something they're going to fix. I find that the people linger in the cafes too long and will get lost, will miss their flight. like overwhelming number of people. Like if it was just a couple people, I'd understand. I could, you know, spin it into a story narrative, you know, but it was like an overwhelming number of people. And I wish I would have moved these down one. So we're just going to dismantle them and replace them. Which is fine. You know, you have to tear down and rebuild, or I do anyway. Security is going to have to be expanded at some point, but I like to grow slow. I found with this game, just slow and steady, otherwise things can start going crazy. I have like one space up there, so I guess we'll do one space down here. Plenty of like walk through. And we're going to put some plants down. I think I had plant 2 saved up. And just put them down here. Your people actually do need decoration in this. They also need information, which is why I have a flight info display right here. And I should put one down at the bottom. And there's a heat map for that as well. Ooh, I didn't really want to put it there. But it's already shipping in. If you put something down and you cancel it, it will still get shipped in. I have found. Maybe that's something that they're planning on changing, but I found it gets ordered anyway, like you've already paid for it. It wasn't going to let me put it there, so I guess I'm just going to leave it there anyway. And of course, you know, I couldn't put it in the middle. I had to choose a side. Alright, all is calm, but we do have a big flight. I forget how many people this carries. 140. That's not that much, actually, in the grand scheme of things. I guess it's a lot right now. I still have a smaller airport. Here come the people. And see, they like will line up in this one, and then they decide like, oh, the line over here is shorter, and then they hop out of line. And then they, yeah, see? So it's a little weird yet, but it's still fun to play. And if you've ever been to an airport, people actually really do this. I don't know why everybody thinks they all need to get in the same line or use the same machine. Like, this lady refuses to go use the other machine. She would rather wait in line. I've seen her. I know her. I've been at the airport with that person. But this is just the beginning here. I don't want to make too long of a video. I really don't want to end it yet. I don't feel like I've done a lot. We got vending machines. Vending machines and kiosks. I want to actually expand this area. Not enough money. I want to expand this area and add some kiosks in here. The security is going to have to be extended. We're going to have to build an exit hallway. I don't know where I want to connect the exit hallway is the thing. Should I go around the sitting area to accommodate more gates? Because we are going to grow. Let's see, they'd rather stack up here than... Well, they're filling up, I guess, but... You can get some, like, cool-looking planes, too. I don't know... I feel like I can fit another one here. There's no reason... I don't think I could fit one. And they're sorted by morning, afternoon, and night flights. You do have to have special equipment on your runway for night flights. Atlantic... See, yeah, they give a decent acceptance bonus. If for whatever reason their flight gets delayed too many times, or I don't know. I've found that they sometimes will just randomly pull a flight. It might just be that they're pulling it for a reason and I haven't noticed. That's totally a possibility. But this is the termination fee. If that happens, you owe that much money to them. And I've been put in debt for that. There's other people that offer a lot more money. They were offering 37. I've had people offer me like 5, I feel like, before. Yeah, here we go. See, this is a big one. But we can't accept these. I don't have a big enough runway or a big enough gate yet. Well, 37's actually looking pretty good right now. So we will take an Airbus 320. How many does that hold? 150 versus a 737, which holds 140. So we'll do the Airbus. I think we can handle that. We got a big chunk of time here in the morning. And I might be able to shuffle things a little bit. So because that's going to have more people than we're used to, we're going to almost have double the amount of people showing up in the morning now at the ticket booths and, you know, sitting in the areas and going through security. So we kind of want to stagger it a little bit so that the masses arrive, you know, a little bit spaced out. So I'm going to give them an hour. And then, see, there's going to be an hour and about 15 minutes in between this and another flight of 140 people. And only about 30 minutes between a flight of 90 people. So I might move this down a little bit. I think the rest should be good. These are all smaller flights. 90, 19, like that's nothing. That's not even a problem. These are going to be taking off at the same time. So let's move it a little bit. Move that one. And that should be good. Let's stretch this one out for boarding time. And move it just a hair. That should be good. An hour and 15 minutes. I think we'll be fine. Unfortunately, we won't see that flight until tomorrow, obviously. What time did it show up? Like 4:45? Security is like, they're doing just fine. I find that one desk can actually work on 2 metal detectors and scanners. I find that fine, but I was running into a like short-term problem where I just needed to get people through the line, so I just put down an equal amount. At the time being, this is the CFO. She lets you raise pricing. Well, mine's a she. We have like a young blonde girl who, like, you know, does our finances, and she has set our runway usage to 800, which is a lot higher than it starts out with, and 35 per passenger per plane. Like, so every time a plane pulls in, when they unload passengers, we're getting money for that. 35 per person. See, we just got $4,700. That's all that money came from these passengers unloading. And then you get a $800 runway fee every time they land and take off. At least I do. That's what I have it set to. I should probably raise it. We're still, you know, on the cheaper side. We're starting to enter mid-range, and I'm not quite at a mid-range airport yet, but we're getting there. I'm going to cut the video here. If there's anything you liked about this video, please leave a like. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. And I will see you next time in Sim Airport.